Today's story is about washing. In 1947-48, my mum and dad were living on an old army camp because they were squatting, they were homeless. And they hadn't got a washing machine. Washing machines had been invented, the modern electric had been invented, but they couldn't afford one. So they had a dolly tub. Now, a dolly tub, if you don't know, was a round container like this. It stood about 4 foot, 3 foot maybe off the ground, and it was like a water butt, basically. And inside you would have an agitator. Now the agitator was a long handle with a X top to it, and then it had an X bottom with spikes or spokes coming out of the bottom. And you would fill your water butt with water. You'd put your agitator in, and then you'd put your soap crystals in, because you didn't have, or they didn't have modern washing detergents, liquids and powders in those days. They used these little flakes, crystals, and they put that in the water, or my mum did. And then you put your washing in. You put it into the 4 quarters of the machine. And then you spun your washing, or spin it. And you would turn the agitator like this 4 times clockwise, and then you'd change and turn it 4 times anti-clockwise. And this would move your washing around inside the dolly tub. And you do that for about 10 minutes, quarter of an hour. It was labour intensive and quite hard work as well. So now you've done that, you've washed your washing, right? So now you need to spin it or drain it, rinse it. So you take your washing, take the agitator out, and my mum had a mangle, and a small mangle which comprised of a metal framework with 2 legs and 2 rubber rollers at the top with a handle. And what you did was you took your washing out and you pushed it through the mangle and you turned the handle, and basically what happened was the 2 rollers would squeeze all the liquid and all the soap suds out for you. And you do that, you'd go like this, and then you take it out the other side and sometimes turn it over and put it in the other way round as well and do it again. And you do that to all of your washing until you'd completed it. Now you've got a laundry basket full of dampish washing that still needs to be rinsed. So you would take the dolly tub outside, you turn it upside down and you empty all the water out, give it a rinse round, and then refill it with fresh clean water. You'd put the agitator back in and you'd put your washing back in, and then you would turn the agitator again like so, 4 times clockwise, 4 times anti-clockwise. And now your washing is now been rinsed. And you then go through the same process again. You would take your washing out of the dolly tub, pop it through the mangle, and you do exactly the same thing again until your washing has all been done that way. Then you'd hang it out on the line, and my mum had pegs like that, dolly pegs with a little round top on, and lots of children used to play with them. They used to put a little face on it, put a little dress around it. Little girls used to play with them, and you'd hang it out on the line to dry it. If you had really stubborn stains, my mum had a scrubbing board, and the scrubbing board was an oblong shaped wooden framework, and inside were wooden sort of dowlings going across like this, and they used to go round, they used to move. And what you did was you put your soap onto the carbolic soap onto the scrubbing board. You get your washing and slap it on the board like so, and then get your carbolic soap and go like this on the outside, and you get a scrubbing brush, and you would then scrub your washing like so. and the washing would move up and down because the round dowlings would move around, and you'd move up and down, and that's how you got rid of stubborn stains. And then you'd then put it in the machine and wash it the same way as you did all your other washing. And my mum did this once a week, every week, for many years, until one day they decided to buy an electric washing machine. They had, for the very first time, they bought a twin tub, which, okay, was still, I've got a twin tub myself, and there's still a lot of work involved in doing your washing that way, but it was easier because you could just put your washing in, turn it on, and it would agitate it for you and wash it for you, and then you then just got to take it out and put it in the spinner and spin it. So it was much easier for you. And we didn't actually really have an automatic washing machine until we moved into this house, and that must have been quite an occasion for my mum. Really must have been. She must have been really excited about it. I'm sure she was. So it was hard work doing your washing in 1947, wasn't it? Eh? Until next time, guys, thank you very much for watching. See you all again very soon.